stop funding the Coastal GasLink pipeline that is now trespassing on land that they have not gotten permission to transverse.
They have no idea what they're talking about.
Skeena MLA Ellis Ross says they're misinformed. Ross said that the consultations began in 2004 when he was there.
And the consultation with First Nations communities started back in 2004, whether we're talking about the Chevron project or whether we're talking about the LNG Canada project. And by the way, that process is the same process that was used for First Nations to sign on to forestry agreements with the province.
But he says that it's something that was brought to the legislature in Victoria nearly a week ago.
We'll make our own decisions in this province about how we develop our natural resources in consultation with Indigenous communities, with local governments, the federal government, as opposed to listening to, somebody down in Los Angeles who's a celebrity and somehow thinks because they've made a movie and have millions of dollars, that somehow gives them the ability to influence how we do things here in this province.
And to stop funding what is ultimately nothing more than a modern-day land theft and the active erasure of the Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs' title to their land.
Hollywood actor Mark Ruffalo has been front and center in the friction, and he says that the Wet'suwet'en haven't been consolidated, and it's a system based on racism and neglect.
We have a responsibility to each other. And it's time for good people and privileged people like us to do the right thing, to make other people, good people, uncomfortable.
You can't hide the fact that LNG Canada has benefited BC, has benefited the region. There's a tremendous amount of jobs. People have come from all over Canada for jobs.
Meanwhile, in Toronto, Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs travel to the RBC building, demanding on the doorstep for change.
When they ignore the hereditary chiefs and say that we don't exist, I am Nahmox. My name is thousands of years old. The very blanket that I wear was worn by my grandmother when she was Nahmox. How could they say we don't exist?
Insult to our Denise to arrive here with no executives to speak to, without even sending somebody to address them personally.
A lot of those camps are joint ventures with First Nations and providers to provide that service for LNG Canada and the pipeline. There's joint ventures popping up around different service deliveries for the project. It's been more than fair.
Meanwhile, CFTK-TV News reached out to RBC for comment, but did not get a response in time for deadline. The Wet'suwet'en did not get a response from RBC after sitting in the lobby in Toronto. For CFTK-TV News, I'm Zack Power in Terrace.